Hello, Steve Fletcher here, and welcome to the Everything Guide to Learning to Play Guitar. Before we get started, can I ask you please to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube page, and really help me grow my business. Also, if you've got time, head over to FletcherSteve.com, where you'll find a multitude of resources constantly being updated to assist you with your day-to-day guitar playing needs. Okay, let's play the rather daunting game of what guitar do I need? Now, in the previous video, I mentioned, it's a good idea to go into your local guitar shop and try and, discover there which kind of guitar it is that you're going to want to choose. Now, the first thing that will happen to you when you walk in is you'll see on the walls all around you a multitude of different types of guitar, and it can seem quite overwhelming to the new starter. It does feel like you're entering a world that you know literally nothing about. But don't panic. I'm going to steer you a little bit down this path of which guitar you might want to choose. Now, there are three main types of guitar available for you to purchase. Okay, and as luck would have it, I've got all three of them here. One of these three is going to stand out more than any other, and we're going to get to that in due course. Two of them are very easily confused. So again, I'm going to take you through what you need to know. So first of all, we're going to look at the classical guitar. So here we go. So the classical guitar is, I'm not going to lie, if you've got a child who is wanting to learn to play the guitar, 99 times out of 100, this is the one that you're going to want to go for. The classical guitar. It's the one that is available most readily in different sizes. This is a full size, but you can get them in half size, 3/4 size. The rough rule of thumb, year 1, 2, 3, I'd go for half. 4, 5, 6, I'd go for 3/4, and year 7 and above, I'd go for full size. But every child is different, so guitar shop, sit down with the guitar. So the classical guitar is recognizable by its thick body, it's hollow, it's got lovely, what we call nylon, but plasticky material strings, okay? And to really help out, if you look at the head of the guitar, that's actually quite a unique design to the classical guitar. This holes in the top design. The tuning pegs are facing backwards as well. But yeah, this is the one that you're going to get. Prices for these, you can do a little bit of shopping around, find ones for this from £25-30. You can go a little bit higher up in budget. You can probably get ones with some accessories. So you're talking about, you might get a soft bag with it. You might get some plectrums. You might get a capo, replacement strings, that kind of stuff. But yeah, classical guitar, it's probably the one that you're going to want to go for, especially if it is your darling son or daughter that is wanting to play. Number 2 is the acoustic guitar. So the acoustic guitar, as you can see, looks very, very similar to the classical guitar. They've both got rather large bodies. They're both hollow, probably going to have a black guitar neck. So they do look very, very similar. So what's the difference? Difference being, the biggest difference between the acoustic guitar and the classical guitar is the strings. The strings on an acoustic guitar are metal, usually bronze, which means You've got a bit of a swings and roundabouts thing here going on. So the strings are metal, but they are a little bit more versatile. You've got a lot more scope to do a lot more things with them in the long run. However, because they're metal, in the short term, it does mean that they're going to sting the fingers a little bit more. If you imagine, metal strings on lovely soft fingers, it is going to sting those fingers a little bit. That's something that you're going to have to go through with all guitars, is aching fingers, but you do just have to push on through. Yeah, so acoustic guitar, you can get these in half size, 3/4 size. They're not as readily available in those sizes, but you can get them. So if this is what you're wanting, then go for it. Which brings us to the final type of guitar that you can invest in, the electric guitar. Now, this is the one I could show you a million different designs for the electric guitar. This is one of the most commonly seen electric guitars. This is the Fender Stratocaster, but there are absolutely hundreds and thousands, if not millions, of different designs available. Little bit more in common with the acoustic guitar in that the strings are steel. They're not bronze like they are on the acoustic guitar. They're nickel. The strings are a little bit thinner as well on an electric guitar. The big thing, of course, with an electric guitar is it's not hollow. It is a solid chunk of wood, and it's a lot of chunk of wood to be carrying around with you. The main reason why people tend to lean away from the electric guitar when they're first starting, I would say, is probably the cost more than anything else. Although you can get lower budget end electric guitars. Again, you can get electric guitar packs with accessories for, about £100. If you're not sure whether son or daughter or even yourself is going to carry on with guitar for the long term, £100 is a lot of money to fork out. So that's one of the reasons why people tend to steer clear of them at first. Another reason that people think of is, oh my goodness me, an electric guitar is going to be incredibly loud, incredibly noisy. Well, you don't have to buy an amp. This is not plugged in. This is a completely unplugged electric guitar, and it's actually quieter than both of those. So actually, for that reason, if you went down the route of buying an electric guitar, if you didn't buy an amp or just unplugged it, then everyone in the house can have a little bit of peace and quiet. Another reason why people generally steer clear of the electric guitar, especially small children, is just carrying it around. It's a lot of weight to be carrying around, especially if you're having lessons at school or anything like that. The classical guitar is hollow. It's so much lighter. It's so much easier to lug about. At the end of the day, and at the beginning of your learning, it makes absolutely no difference at all, really, whether you have a classical guitar, an acoustic guitar, or an electric guitar. The last word in the name of all of those is guitar. They are all guitars. You can start to learn to play on any of these. Okay, an A chord is an A chord whether you're playing it on an electric, an acoustic, or on a classical. There's a kind of urban legend that's sort of been formed that you have to start on, a classical or an acoustic and then graduate up to an electric guitar. This is not true, okay? If you are committed to learning and you know full well that you want to play electric guitar, if that is the route that you want to go down, then get an electric guitar if you can. There's no rule that says I have to get any of one of these over any one of the other. It's your personal choice, and it's not just down to a case of I like that one. I hope I've made you realize that. There's a lot of different things: size, shape, body size, physical size, budget, costs. There's a lot of different reasons why people would get the kind of guitar that they would get. But those are the three that you can invest in. And I hope I've helped you out there with making somewhat of a choice and helping to differentiate a little bit between which one is which. So there, go for it.